Happy Pride, TriCon community. Well, my name's Court Noyes, as many of you know. And, well, I did come out of the closet quite a few years ago now. Gosh, it's making me sound old. Almost 15 years ago. It wasn't until I truly came out to the TriCon family that I really figured out who I was and who I wanted to be and how to express myself. I'm quite fortunate to feel so loved by everyone at TriCon, and I always have been, from my days growing up at Sunday school and running to get donuts from Mr. Piper, and then it was choir and cherub choir and junior choir and youth choir, and I was always supported. I was always loved. That's what the church was all about. That's what TriCon is all about. That's what God is all about. Love, right? God is love. And for me, I didn't quite know who I was yet growing up, but TriCon helped me figure that out and always supported me along my journey. When Bob Brown asked me to speak for a symposium that had to do with National Coming Out Day and talking about LGBTQ stories, it helped me figure out how to shape my own coming out story. And while many of you might remember it of a story of lots of bravado and loud voices, what really stuck out to me is that the community showed me incredible support and love for something that was honestly really scary for me. Now, I was a little bit naive back then, and probably still am, but I seem to think that I was a bi man that would always be a bi man, and that's just the way it was. And I told my story at length with lots of laughs and lots of bravado. The community loved me, and the community still loves me for who I am. And that's not something that everyone can say in all parts of the world, or even in all parts of Massachusetts, in all parts of our country. And TriCon's been there for me as I've figured out who I am inside. My pronouns are he, they, and I feel so loved by the community and by really the TriCon family, just in the sense that they still accept me, even when it is few and far between when it comes to my visits. Now, not everyone has a family that they can rely on. Not everyone has a family of people that they can worship with. And I feel incredibly lucky to be supported so fully by the TriCon family, no matter how many years pass. One memory that sticks out to me in particular that helps me figure out how to talk about my own non-binary identity is when I was waiting to go into church with my mom, who was parking, and I think she was helping my grandmother or something. And let's just call her Cher. This woman, who is also my art teacher, she's a member of the TriCon family. And we were chatting a bit and reminiscing, and she said, "You know, Court, I haven't seen you in a few years. What are your pronouns these days?" And I said, "Oh, I'm really glad you asked." And I honestly had no idea what to do, but then I did. And I said, Cher, my pronouns are he, they. And yeah. And she said, "Okay, my pronouns are she, her. I really appreciate you telling me." And it was at that moment, with the flutter in my heart, the oh my gosh, what should I say? What should I do? The flight or fight. But then I realized I was with family. I was with a supportive community and a supportive friend and mentor and teacher, former teacher. And when you have those types of people in your TriCon family, you know that there's nothing you can do other than be yourself through and through. And TriCon's helped me see that. And TriCon has supported me through all of my journeys and all of my struggles and all of my growth. I feel incredibly lucky and I feel incredibly proud to have grown up with the TriCon community. But not everyone has that ability to find a TriCon. And that brings me to this week's offering. And you'll probably hear more about it. And if not, I encourage you to do your research into the Boston Glass community. It's an LGBTQIA support community for people of color, Black and brown youth, specifically between the ages of 15 and 25, from what I understand. And they provide resources and community and really a family-like atmosphere. And to me, it sounds a lot like what would happen if TriCon needed to help other TriCon members find resources that were not available. My story is not unique in a lot of ways. I came from relative privilege, and I'm humbled and gracious for all that my family, my direct family, and also my TriCon family have done for me. But in some ways, my story is unique, well, because it's mine. And as a genderqueer person who has an amazing husband, I feel incredibly lucky to continue to be part of such a supportive, not just affirming, but loudly supportive TriCon family. Please know I wouldn't be who I am without each and every one of you. From memories of Sunday school to youth group, to the Pride congregation coming together and singing gender-inclusive songs with other church communities in Concord. These are ways that the TriCon community has helped shape who I am and reaffirmed who I want to be in the future, as in be my best self. And that's going to look different for every one of us. But if you're part of the queer community or you're struggling to come out, know that you are loved. Know that you are not just supported. Know that there are people within TriCon that want to lift you up. That's how I feel right now. I feel lifted up. I feel supported. I feel like even though we're coming to you from Washington, D.C., here to protest against all of those evils in the world and all of the people telling us that pride shouldn't exist, that Harvey Milk didn't do the right thing, that Marsha P. Johnson didn't do the right thing, all those people that telling us that Stonewall wasn't important. We're here. We're queer. And we're here with our allies. We're here with our TriCon family and spirit, and we're here together. And together, as a supportive community filled with love, I know we can face any challenge. I love you all from the bottom of my big queer heart. I can't wait to see you in Concord. Please look up Glass, the local community for LGBTQ youth of color in Boston. And remember, stay proud, stay open-minded, and above all, share the love. Happy Pride.